It does not have to be Taco Tuesday for you to enjoy a damn good taco.
If I smoked, I would need a cigarette right now. Hey y'all, welcome to Cooking with Sylv Mac, and today we are making some tacos. These can be done probably in like 30 minutes, maybe 40. It's not gonna take that long. It's not a complicated recipe at all. But you know, before we get started, y'all know you better grab your wine. I'll give you a moment while you grab your wine. And today, I decided to mix it up a little bit. Now y'all know my mother always would cook with a glass of wine. It was normally white wine. This time I decided to shake it up a little bit, and I've got a little rosé. It is not white Zinfandel because my mother said that tastes like soda pop and she hated that. So get your wine, let's go. And let's talk about how to make these tacos. Now, you can use any type of meat that you like. I am actually today going to use some ground pork. I love pork, but you can use ground beef, you can use ground chicken, you can use ground turkey, you can use tofu, whatever blows your skirt up. But I'm gonna do mine with the ground pork because I like the fat content in there. It makes it nice and juicy. I'm not doing anything really too fancy with the tacos. I am going to use this McCormick taco packet, seasoning packet, and I've got 2 of them, and they're hot, but you can also get them in mild. And I'm gonna use these, but I am putting, of course, my Sylv Mac stank on it. And what does that stank involve? Let's show you. So you wanna cut up at least about half of an onion, a little rough chop, because we're gonna saute this in with the meat. And then I live in Arizona, which is a border state to New Mexico, and they have some of the best chiles ever. And they have a chile that is unique to them, and it's called a hatch green chile. So they sell them here in Arizona, and they can come in hot, medium, mild. I got the medium because I'm gonna put some other stuff in there, and I'm gonna use about 2 tablespoons of that. If you don't have this, because this comes frozen, you can also get them fresh. I just saw these in the freezer and thought, what the heck, I'm gonna try those. If you want, and if you don't have those or access to hatch green chiles, then you can always use a serrano pepper or a jalapeno, whatever pepper that you would like. Remember though, the serrano pepper is hot. It's like super hot, so if you use it, be careful. It's a lot hotter than the jalapeno. The other thing that I'm gonna put in there is a little sofrito, and I'm gonna use about a tablespoon of it. And then I chopped up about 2 cloves of garlic. Little known fact, after you cut up your garlic, have you ever noticed that your hands, obviously smell like garlic? If you wanna get that odor away, and if you have my stainless steel sink over here, just rub your hands against the stainless steel sink and it takes the smell away. Who knew? All right, and then I'm also gonna shake a few red peppers in there because y'all know I like it a little spicy. So let me tell you though how I'm going to do the tacos. Now, of course, you can always just use a normal pan and brown the taco meat and then, do everything else that I'm gonna show you in a minute. However, I am going to use my stovetop smoker, which is right over here on the stovetop, and I'll show you that. It is about 8 o'clock at night. I live in Arizona, and it is still 100 degrees outside. So y'all know I love my Traeger grill, but I'm gonna do it inside. And I'm gonna smoke the ground pork in my stovetop smoker, and it gives it such a really good flavor, and then I will saute it up. I'm gonna show you how to do all of that in 2 seconds. As soon as I grab my wine, y'all got your wine? Good. So let's get to cooking. All right, y'all, so now it's time to get to smoking. This is my stovetop smoker, and I'm going to use some mesquite smoking chips. I also have apple, but with the pork, and I guess the apple probably would be really good with the pork, but for tacos, I want a little bolder flavor, so I'm gonna go with the mesquite. So I put about 2 tablespoons inside of the pan, and you put it like in the middle, and I lined it with just a little bit of foil. See if you can see that. And that's so that it won't stick and it's for easy cleanup. Then the other thing that I want to do is put another piece of foil on top of that, just a little piece, and that's just for easy cleanup and so that it doesn't stick to the bottom. It's gonna be a little wobbly and uneven, so don't worry about that. I don't want the meat to stick, so I'm just gonna spray the grate with a little bit of Pam, and then you also have the dripping pan that's in there too. So let's get the pork, and I like to break it up in pieces, big chunks, and that's just to give it more surface area so that more smoke can get into the meat. So you put it in just big chunks like this, and the good thing too is that once you start smoking it, all of that fat too is going to go to the bottom of the pan. So you won't have greasy tacos, but you'll have a lot of flavor still. So then all you want to do now is you want to close up the pan. You don't want to close it all the way. You leave about a ½ inch toward the back of the pan here. Then you want to turn your heat on, and you only want to turn it to a little under medium. You don't want it too hot because then it'll burn too quickly. So you want it on like medium low. And the minute you see just the faintest amount of smoke coming out is when you want to close it up. I'm going to let this smoke for about 10 minutes and then come back, and then we'll put it into the pan. So while that's smoking, let's talk about the condiments. Okay, you guys, now let's talk about the condiments right now. So we're going to do, of course, lettuce. We've got tomatoes that we'll slice up. We've got an onion. I like to use a red onion because the white onion it's a little more pungent, and the red onion has a little bit more heat and a little bit more bite to it. I do want to show you though how to cut an onion because you probably know how, but I just want to show you how I cut an onion because my husband cuts it the wrong way and it drives me freaking crazy. So when you have your onion, you cut off the bottom part, and then you see this little, I don't know what that is, but the root or whatever it is, if you sort of cut it right down the middle and you peel off this layer, what it does is it holds the onion together, right? This little thing, because you only cut it halfway through. And now you can cut and dice your onion nicely. He doesn't do that. I don't know what he does, but every time I come back and I see that he has cut up an onion, he has jacked it up. Whoops. That's my timer right now. Hey Google, stop. It's time to check on the smoked tacos, the smoked taco meat rather. So I'm gonna finish dicing this up, and let's go check on that taco meat. Are you ready? This is gonna be, oh, look at that. So this is what it looks like. The pork is now smoked. I've got on my grill gloves so I can just pick it up. And I'm gonna transport it over to, whoops, it's kind of slippery. I'm gonna transport it over to a pan. Okay, so again, like I said, you didn't have to smoke the meat if you didn't want to. You could have just immediately put the pork or your ground beef or your ground turkey or chicken or tofu or whatever into the pan, and you can start the process from here. I just love smoked food and that smoky flavor. So now I have transported the smoked pork into my skillet, and I'm browning the meat. And you just want to kind of stir it around and sort of break up the big chunks a little bit. Because when you take it out of the smoker, it's not cooked. It's only smoked a little bit. It's not going to cook it all the way through. So you will need to brown it. Now I like to add my onions. And that's about, like I said, half of an onion. Nice chop on that. And my garlic. And this is 2 cloves of garlic, large cloves of garlic. Couple of shakes of crushed red pepper, just because I like it a little spicy. And then I've got my sofrito. So I'm gonna use, a tablespoon of it to put in there. And then I've got my hatch green chilies, and I'm gonna put about 2 tablespoons of that in there as well. Now these are chilies that are unique. You can see, and they're fire roasted, and they are such a wonderful, wonderful flavor. And you can see where they roasted it, the little black bits. It's awesome. So let's stir this around and let it cook a little bit. Once all of the meat is nice and brown and you don't see any more pink in there, then you want to take your taco seasoning, your packet, and you sprinkle that in. And you want to mix this up, and it's almost like a, not, kind of like a gravy. I don't want to say gravy, but you want to make sure that you coat all of the meat with it. About a third of a cup of water in there. You take your top, you cover it up, reduce the heat down to medium low, and let it simmer just for about 5 or 10 minutes. Now, this is something a little extra. I like to sprinkle a little fresh cilantro in there. Not much, just like a handful. And then let this continue to simmer for like another 5 minutes or so. Okay, y'all, so the meat is over here and it's simmering right now. So now it's time to cook up the tortilla. You can do flour, you could do whatever you like. I love corn tortillas and I like to fry them myself. Now, this is by no means healthy, so y'all don't have to say that's not healthy. I know it's not healthy, but it's good. So you take the tortilla, you put it in your pan. I've got about maybe 3 tablespoons of just vegetable oil in there. I've got my tongs, and I've got a spoon. And I've got it over medium-high heat, because it doesn't take long at all. So once it kind of browns on one side, like so, then we're gonna flip it over, and you see it browns very quickly. Then the reason why I have the spoon is because I need some help, because I need now to turn it and make it into a taco. So now I will cook it on that side until it's nice and crispy. Because I do this so that I can keep it open. And then you flip it on this side for a couple of seconds. And you can see, oh, that's gonna be so good. Then I drain it on some paper and I stuff it with the meat. Okay, here's the best part of it. Coming up is the taste test. Are we ready? You can hear the crunch. Mmm. 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 Ah, sooky now. This is so good. I can taste the smokiness. Sorry that my mouth is full. I can taste the peppers, the cilantro, the onions, tomatoes. Good God Almighty. If I smoked, I would need a cigarette right now. Anyway, y'all, don't forget to follow me, like my videos, follow me on Facebook, Instagram. Now I'm getting some of the heat from those hatch green chili peppers. Anyway, cheers everyone.